Fire Chief Acting Gregory Wickham on Thursday told the news conference that the Guyana Fire Service responded to a total of 832 fire reports to date. When compared to the same period in 2020, the GFS recorded 1,639 fire calls, representing a 43% decrease this year.
To date, in the Guyana Fire Service, we would have responded to no less than 832 fire calls. 832 fire calls. Last year, this same period, we would have responded to 1,469 fire calls. When we do the math there, we recognize that we have a deduction or decrease in the number of fire calls by 43%.
On the other hand, the fire chief said that the emergency medical services system recorded 4,728 calls, representing a more than 50% increase when compared to the same period in 2020.
It is obvious that we have more calls for medical assistance this year as against last year. And even if we were to make a comparison with fire calls as against the calls for medical assistance, we will see that the percentage will be far greater, or the number of instances where we had to respond would be far greater than that of the fire calls that we would have responded to.
Wickham assured that despite what occurred with the Brickdam police station fire, the fire service is always ready to respond to reports. The fire service was recently heavily criticized by President Irfan Ali after a huge blaze destroyed 80% of the Brickdam police station. The president pointed out that hundreds of millions of dollars were spent in the last year to boost the fire service's response, but they were still unable to respond to a fire in their own backyard. The head of state affirmed that the government cannot continue to make investments in the public service and not have returns, adding that inefficiency has to be weeded out. The president said too that the response by the fire service to the Brickdam fire had nothing to do with assets and resources, but unpreparedness by the service. As a result, the substantive fire chief Kalamadin Idu was sent on leave, hence Wickham is now acting. Reporting for the newsroom, I am Shikima Day.